Okay. Alright. So we're back at it. It's been a few days. Kind of took a little bit of a break, I guess, if you want to call it that. Just things were kind of busy after Thanksgiving. Had some commissions to do. Had some stuff to take care of. And, I think it was on Black Friday that I took advantage of the deals and got the Dark Souls trilogy. So I've been kind of busy with that too. So, I guess since we're on that topic, I've never played Dark Souls. So, that's been an interesting ride for me. I'm still on the first one. I'm still trying to make my way through the first Dark Souls. I think I'm at Dark Root Forest? Is that what it's called? Dark Root something? I'm at Dark Root something. I think I killed like 3 bosses? It might have been just 2. But, actually, okay, we want to go... Alright, I know where to go. But, so Dark Souls. So, why haven't I played them before? What took me so long? Let me explain. For the longest time, I was very hesitant to even touch Dark Souls. Hopefully I'm not late. How's Dark Souls for you right now? A lot of people say it sucks, a lot of people suck off how innovative and great it is, but I never played it. Okay, so yeah, like I was getting into that actually. So, welcome to the stream, by the way. Dark Souls. I was very hesitant to play it for a long time. Very long time. Even like 5 years ago, I vividly remember my bro always hassling me to try to get me to play it. Constantly. Trying to get me to play Bloodborne, trying to get me to play Dark Souls. He is obsessed with those games. And I know what kind of games they are. Due to, like, you know, cultural osmosis and, like, videos and shit. I'm like, oh, Dark Souls, you mean that game that purposely tries to piss you off? The game that kills you constantly? That game? And I played a little bit of it. Back then. I played, like, I think, like, 10 minutes worth of Dark Souls 3, like a half hour worth of Bloodborne, but this is a while ago. And even though I played them a little bit, I still wasn't ready for what was to come. Because the thing about Dark Souls is that it's not like any other game series. It is a game that is going to piss you off. It is a game specifically designed to impede on your progress. It is a game that wants you to fail. Now, granted, there are games like this. There's tons of indie games that are like this, like Super Meat Boy, the Unfair game or whatever, VVVVV or whatever. There's tons of indie games that take this philosophy of just being absolutely ridiculously hard that just don't want you to progress, right? There's tons of games like that. But with Dark Souls, it's the kind of game that when you get into it, upon your first death, the game rewards you with a trophy that says, "Welcome to Dark Souls." As if, hey, this is what you need to expect. This is what you're going to be dealing with for the rest of the game. Okay? Something about the philosophy of a game that is designed to piss you off just never sat right with me. So I stayed away from it for a long time. Now, I wasn't the kind of person to say that the game sucked. I wasn't really bitter towards them, no. I just didn't think that I was ready for that kind of game. Right? And I wasn't. I don't think I was ready because I kept dying constantly. I mean, like, that's the point. You're supposed to die constantly, but I mentally was not ready for a game like that. And that's ironic, considering that I'm someone that, you know, takes pride in being someone that loves playing games like Castlevania and Mega Man and Devil May Cry. Like, I love franchises like those. So you'd think that Dark Souls would be up my alley, but I don't know, it just wasn't. Oh, we got a new familiar. We got the sword? Let me go ahead and equip that right now. Yeah, get out of here. But anyway, I just did not see myself getting into it. So, here I am now. I got the trilogy. I'm finally playing him, sitting down for myself. What do I think? It's alright. It's a challenge. Yeah, you die a lot. I mean, I would like to wait a bit to fully give a true opinion, because I'm only playing the first one right now. I haven't really got a chance to really get into 2 or 3 yet. But so far I could say that, yeah, I mean, it's Dark Souls. You die a lot. There's a lot of really, really cruel and punishing moments in the game. But it is very satisfying when you kill enemies, because it takes... The main draw of the game is that it's not a hack and slash in the traditional sense. It wants you to learn enemy patterns, enemy attacks, and it wants you to do your homework. It wants you to learn and take your time before you attack. It really, really emphasizes strategy. You really need to be strategic and careful with your attacks. Says perhaps Dark Souls death is a little too long to wait. That's a little too long to wait. Perhaps it's as depth as many games played. Who knows? Dark Souls death. What? Is it a little too long to wait? Perhaps it isn't as in-depth as the many games you played? Well, no, I would say that Dark Souls is very in-depth. I would say that it's extremely in-depth because, I've heard people, because before I've heard people compare Legend of Zelda to Dark Souls with the Z targeting system, in that there's like a bunch of enemies that you have to wait to attack, and it kind of is like that. But the problem is with Dark Souls, the main difference that separates Dark Souls from every other game like that is that you don't get any wiggle room for punishment. Or mistakes, rather. You don't get wiggle room for mistakes. You are not allowed to screw up. Because if you screw up, you die. That's it. You have to be perfect. If you're not perfect, you're dead. You will die to the most fragile enemies in these games in like 3 hits. You will die very easily. Despite being very heavily armored, with like knight armor and gear and stuff like that, you will die in like 3 hits. You are a very fragile, very timid person. Your character is very fragile. It's like a glass cannon sort of thing. So, that's... And I guess you could say that it's kind of like trial and error. Because there's often times where you don't know how an enemy is going to attack, how heavy their attack's going to be, if you can even parry their attacks, if you can block their attacks. And sometimes there's moments in the game where they put enemies behind you in areas where you don't expect them to be. Like, they'll put a dickish enemy placement somewhere that'll come sabotage you from behind and then kill you. Or they'll even put, like, a flaming barrel at the top of a hill that'll come and crash down and insta-kill you. There's moments like that. There are unfair moments like that that a beginner wouldn't notice and will kill you. There are moments like that. I think it's fine, though. Definitely the hardest game I've ever played. It definitely lives up to its reputation as, like, you know, the hardest video game franchise ever. And with that being said, I don't understand why so many video game articles and journalists like to throw around the word Dark Souls with every new platformer that gets made. Because I remember when the Crash Insane trilogy came out. You remember when Crash Insane trilogy came out? There were articles saying that, oh, this is the new Dark Souls of platforming. No. No, it is not. Dark Souls' design philosophy is currently reminiscent of old games or newer Castlevania. By the way, Dark Souls is like... Yeah, you know, it kind of is. it kind of is like that. It kind of feels like... Dark Souls feels like a modern-day interpretation of what old-school NES games were like. The very brutal difficulty, the fact that you don't get a lot of hits before you die, the fact that when you do die, you get everything taken away from you, you have to earn it back. Yeah. I could see that. But anyway, now we got a boss fight. We're fighting Orlok, and wow, that was really fast. Oh my god. He turns into a green monstrosity. What was that? Was it Gumby? Is that his name? Gumby? The green stretchy fellow? It doesn't matter because he's dead. I think the reason why Journalist does that seems to be because they haven't played the games or are brutally difficult. I think it is just, yeah, people tend to conflate difficulty with Dark Souls because they probably never played it. And they just assume, oh, Dark Souls is the most difficult game in the world, therefore if it's difficult, then we can compare it to that, right? No. No. It's difficult for a lot of reasons, but not... I don't think there's even a platformer that I would consider close to Dark Souls. I don't think so. I don't think there is a platformer that I can consider being close to Dark Souls that I've played, to my knowledge. I know there's like Blasphemous, which I've heard some people claim is like Dark Souls and Castlevania, kinda. So they perhaps choose the most familiar thing to everyone, Dark Souls, and I'm gonna be honest, what's the worst thing you can do? Yeah. It's just, it's a disingenuous comparison because Dark Souls is really in a league of its own. It really is in a league of its own. I feel like making baseless comparisons to other games just doesn't work because, again, Dark Souls reinvented the formula. It made its own subgenre. It was completely innovative. It did something that no other game has done. So, the fact that all these journalists can compare it to Dark Souls like that so easily is just kind of stupid. It kind of defeats the purpose of what Dark Souls is. Blasphemous is not even close to Castlevania. It's more similar to Metroid than Castlevania. Now, Death's Gambit, however, yeah, I haven't played either. Haven't played Blasphemous or Death's Gambit. Okay, where are we going? Alright, so we got the new... What was that? The attack? What was that? Oh no, that was the radar. Okay, so now... I want to take ourselves down to... We gotta go to the catacombs now. Alright, let's go to the catacombs. But yeah, Dark Souls, it's alright. I'm liking it, even though I'm getting my ass kicked a lot. I'm dying a lot, which is to be expected. I'm liking it, I'm digging it. Hopefully I can beat it soon so I can get on to Dark Souls 2 and 3. But I know what else we can talk about. Actually, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can wait for more people to come in before I discuss that, because I think that's a good talking point. What else can we talk about, though? Let's take this war point first. Oh, there's somebody right there. Hey, Darian, how you doing? Well, hey, what's going on there, Liz? Welcome to the stream. We're only 13 minutes in, you're not missing much. We just beat Orlok, or Allrocks in this game. I don't know, is it Orlok or Allrocks? Because, you know, the vampire's name is Orlok, but in this game it's Allrocks. Whatever, shut up. We gotta go to the underground cavern, so that's where we're going. We were just talking about Dark Souls because, Black Friday came up and I decided to take advantage of getting the trilogy for the first time because I've never played Dark Souls before. And I'm very rightly getting my ass kicked, which is to be expected. But I'm having fun. I'm having fun with it. Alright, let's go down. So, obviously I'm playing Dark Souls 1 first, or Dark Souls Remastered, for that matter. Playing Dark Souls Remastered, then I'm playing 2, and then 3. Blasphemous focuses more on backtracking with the tools you're limited with, having to backtrack to open small shortcuts and stuff. Oh, I mean, Metroidvanias do that too. That's why they tend to call it a Metroidvania. But I mean, Metroid kind of did that first, though. So I mean, yeah. Metroid is more known for the backtracking and opening up shortcuts with tools and shit. Death's Gambit is Castlevania, but what? But what, Mr. Man? Oh my god, a hiker is something I don't need. Death's Gambit is basically a spiritual successor to Castlevania, and I wouldn't have it any other way since it might be some of the only... There's a lot of spiritual successors to Castlevania, I've noticed. You got Bloodstained, you got Death's Gambit. There's a whole bunch of Metroidvania clones out there. But at the end of the day, I'm not worried about them unless they're actually called Castlevania and are made by Konami and feature the story of Dracula and the Belmonts. I don't care about them. And I feel like that's a lot of people's mistake about me. That's people's presumption about me is that I must love Metroidvanias because Castlevania is my favorite franchise of all time. But I don't really care about Metroidvanias that much, honestly. Wait, did I open this up? I think I did. What's going on, Nick? Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you overheard me just now, but we were talking about Dark Souls. Again, talking about Dark Souls because I got the trilogy a couple days ago and I've been busy with that. Takes a lot of getting used to, that's for sure. Never played a game like that before. Having a bit of a rough time. I've only beaten 2 bosses, I think. I'm in the Darkwood area with all the plants and shit. I'm well, how you been? Been alright, been alright. Oh, we were kind of under here. Well, now that we got the Bat Soul, though, we can go fight the Succubus right here. Haha. I always assume you're more of a 3D Castlevania Classicvania guy than eager IJ Vania guy. Yeah, I am more of a 3D Vania guy and Classicvania. I like the Metroidvania games, but they're not primarily what I grew up with. They're not my favorite. I do like the Classicvanias and the 3D games more. Especially the 3D games. I grew up on the 3D Castlevanias for nearly 10 years. Never did beat the first Dark Souls game, lost my data. Oh man, that blows. But no, I grew up with 3D Castlevania for like damn near 10 years because I started with Lament of Innocence in 2003, and then Castlevania 64, and then Curse of Darkness, and then Dracula X Chronicles, and then Judgment. So I grew up with mostly 3D Castlevanias for a long time before I finally got to the 2D games. I think the first 2D Castlevania that I played was Portrait of Ruin. And surprisingly, I took the transition pretty well, because even though I've never played a 2D Castlevania at that point, I was like, it fits, it's natural. I'm like, yeah, it's still Castlevania. I didn't see anything jarring about the platform shift, the orientation shift. So, I mean, yeah, 2D Castlevania games were it for me. I primarily grew up with Symphony of the Night and Dawn of Sorrow and then Portrait of Ruin, so might have a bias. Yeah. Lament of Innocence, Curse of Darkness, and Castlevania 64 are my personal favorites, so... Oh, look at that, it's a purple save point. It's darkness. Alright, let's go in there. Go inside the giant floating grape. Nightmare. Oh, look at that 3D background.
Alucard, is that you?
I'm coming, Mother! I'll save you!
No, Alucard, stay away!
Mother!
It's all right. If my death can save others, I gladly surrender my life.
No! I won't let this happen!
It's too late.
played those games.
Just
Good
stay
7 out of
with
10
me.
games, but they're very interesting,
Hear my
extremely
last
interesting
words
ideas
to
that
you.
want to be explored in future games, but
Yes, Mother.
Humans.
that's never gonna happen.
You
Well,
cannot
I mean,
live with
we
them.
got the Game
You can
Awards
only
coming up.
hate them, do
This
them harm.
this cutscene was funny as fuck in the old dub. It
Theirs
was.
is such
This is
a
one of
hard
those
life.
cutscenes that aged
Release
terribly in
them
the
from
older
your
dub, and this
pain.
is exactly why I
Begin
keep
with
telling
the
people this
ones
is the
who
superior
killed
dub.
me.
No.
Just
It
watch
wasn't
this
like
scene in the
this.
original and
Oh,
tell me that you can keep a straight
what's
face. This
wrong?
scene is just
My
bad.
mother never said such a thing.
What do you mean? I am your mother.
But James,
Do
I
as
mean,
I
we got
say.
the Game
Release
Awards
them.
coming up on the
Kill
8th.
them.
We might get
No.
something. They might
You
announce a new
are
collection,
not my
maybe,
mother.
hopefully. Here's
What kind
hoping,
of
maybe.
demon are you?
Strong enough to break my spell, I like that.
You deserve worse than death for this, demon.
Then give it to me, little boy. Don't be shy.
Well, now we have one of the easiest bosses in the game. I think someone pointed out in the comments on them. Look, already dead. Already dead.
Darkling, I smell your blood.
No, you're supposed to say, Darkling, I smell your blood.
That strength, that beauty. You really are the son of Lord Dracula.
Death in the dream world will set
What
your
a
soul
pitiful boss
wandering
fight.
for eternity, demon.
Wait! I beg of you!
Listen to how much better that voice acting was. And now we got the gold ring. Haha, now we just need one more. But look at how easy that boss fight was. We didn't even get a chance to listen to the music. Which is awesome, by the way. The boss music for the succubus is awesome, but we don't even get to hear it that long because she's so fucking easy. It sucks. Collection maybe, but what about a new game? Well, probably never, because everyone that worked on it has moved on. I've mentioned this before. I don't want a new game, honestly. Even though I would like to see a new game about Julius Belmont and the Demon Castle War, I've just... After so long, you just come to terms with the fact that we're not going to get it. It's been nearly 20 years since Aria of Sorrow, ever since they've even hinted the idea of the Demon Castle War. We're not getting it. We're just not. So with that in mind, I just kind of accepted the fact that the story of Castlevania as a whole is done. It's been told through and through. We have an origin story, we have a beginning and an end, we have the Sorrow games, we have a beginning, we have an ending, there's closure. There's like more than a dozen games in this franchise. This game has plenty of games to offer. What they need to do is just give us collections and ports. That's what the series needs. Because, like, more than half of the games in this franchise can't even be played through convenient methods, unless you emulate them. That's what irritates me. There's hope for a new Castlevania game. We're getting a new Silent Hill. Yeah, that's true. We got like 4 new Silent Hill games being made, so I mean, you never know, they might do something, but it's just the fact that we haven't had a real Castlevania game in so long. And plus, we technically do have a new Castlevania game. It's called Grimoire of Souls. And granted, even though it's currently exclusive to Apple Arcade, it is still a new Castlevania game for all intents and purposes. And I can tell you, having played it, that it does feel like a genuine Castlevania title. So I think once the game gets out into the open onto consoles, people will be like, oh yeah, this is good, we don't need a new Castlevania, this is fine. You know, because that is our new Castlevania game. It's good. Same for me, but it's been, what, 12 years now? Igarashi straight up said that the 1999 has been cancelled. Konami's, yeah. Yeah, Igarashi said that he did want to make 2 more Castlevania games before he left, and I think the 1999 game was one of them. But, well, that's over now, so we can't do nothing about it. Alright, so we got the Scylla Wyrm. Okay, can you stop fucking cock-blocking me with your cocks? Alright, got these bubbles just shooting at us. Okay, we all probably have... Alright, hold on, let me fight her first so I can look at chat. Another easy boss, haha. You wanna know what it is? I think it's because we grinded on that spike ball earlier and leveled up a shit ton. We all probably have come to term and realize that Castlevania is finished. Its story has been reached its conclusion. There's no more. The whole Metroidvania style is oversaturated. It is. With indie games, if they do make a new Castlevania, I feel like they would have to do something else. Yeah, that too. If they do make a new Castlevania game, they need to do something different, because this Metroidvania formula has been done to death, especially in the indie game market. They need to do something different if they want to stand out again. The Metroidvania stuff needs to go. Go back to the classic Vanias, maybe even do an identity of your own. I wouldn't be opposed to them doing a Souls-like. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Do a Dynasty Warriors, do a Souls-like game, do something different. Go back to like a DMC clone or something. Just anything but a Metroidvania. We've had enough of these. It's just, yeah, just... And plus, it's like, yeah, if you're gonna do the 1999 story, which is called the Demon Castle War, you'd think you'd want to make it at least a little bit innovative, because Julius says that he has help from other people. So maybe there could be a multiplayer factor into that. We haven't actually had a true-to-form multiplayer Castlevania title yet. We've had Harmony of Despair, but that's just a little, like, online crossover game that doesn't have a plot. That's just an RPG. That's just a little, like, just a little fun game to play with your friends on a Saturday night. That's not a Castlevania game. You play through that one time and you're just bored. That game gets boring after, like, one playthrough. But, yeah, I feel like they could work in some multiplayer elements. Perhaps the Metroidvania genre needs an evolution, the first step into the unknown 3D games. The only games that does that is Metroid and our Wonder Boy Castlevania, yeah. It's just, yeah. Yeah, just me personally, I'm perfectly happy with just getting ports and collections at this point. That's all I care about. Because the entire franchise is perfect enough on its own. There's plenty of games to go around to fit everyone else's playstyle and what they like. The franchise is fantastic on its own the way it is. I am perfectly content in replaying every single game over and over again if I have to. I do not care. I'm not pissing myself over a new game. I'm not. And it's funny because people like to pretend like this series is in desperate need of a new game when it's just not. I wouldn't say that it's in desperate need of a new game. Because, like I said, the story's finished. The fact that it told a story and said that, you know... Like, bro, the franchise has had, like, what? Over 20... Probably even 30 games during its lifespan, since the 80s? That's impressive. That's a lot of games. But people just don't see that, and I don't blame them because Konami won't fucking port them. Like, dude, you know how bad I want to play Castlevania Chronicles? You know how bad I want to play Adventure Rebirth? You know how bad I want to play the DS games? You know how bad I want to play Judgment again? Just for the fighting game novelty? You know how bad I want to play Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness again in Castlevania 64? Huh? Like, bro, if I could just get all these games ported and played again, I'd be a happy camper. But no, people are so, like, bent over getting a new game. It's just like, bro, just, can we get the rest of the originals first? Can we at least preserve those games intact before we get a new one? It's all about game preservation, guys. That's what it's about to me. I'm just trying to make sure that these games are preserved and they're not just abandonware. Trying to make sure that people can play these games at their own leisure. Yeah, the old games are plentiful and good. Lots of games to play, yeah. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of Castlevania games to choose from. It's just the fact that Konami won't port them. I'm good with either a new game. I mean, I'm good with both. It's just I would rather prioritize getting a collection because there's so many good games to play, and I'd like to replay some of them again without having to emulate them, because I don't know about you, but emulating games I just feel dirty when I have to emulate something. It doesn't feel right. I don't feel like I own the game. I feel like I'm just temporarily playing it at the expense of my PC and the expense of the emulator, because emulators aren't perfect either. Because you might have some emulators that are choppy, some that are buggy, some that aren't even properly optimized. It's just, I'd rather just play one that's true to form and from the actual, like, developers. I would like to give Konami my money so I can play these games again, but they just won't fucking do it. Castlevania is more of in desperate need of a better show. Yeah, better show. I mean, remake or ports in the DS games, I guess. Hopefully good ones. I'm surprised they haven't remade Symphony of the Night yet. I've mentioned that before. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't remade this. Konami hates your money. Well, fuck them. Then I hope they go out of business then. Well, fine, don't you... Oh, okay. I was gonna say, well, fine, if you don't want my money... Money?! Oh my god. Kill the fucking Ukoback. Or, wait, is it Gremlin? I'm sorry, Gremlin in this game. It's not a Ukoback. Changing the name every time, I swear. Konami only accepts normal money, not money from fans, especially hardcore fans. Apparently not. Apparently not. Reminds me of, I think it was when the Advanced Collection came out. I think the developers of the Advanced Collection made a statement, and they were like, oh, we'd be more than happy to do more collections, but you guys need to make yourselves heard. You guys need to make yourselves, like, you need to make your voices heard, right? So they say this. So tell me why. Tell me why when I email the company, when I email Konami myself, and I'm like, hey, just wanted to be like, hey, you guys want to do another collection because you guys made a statement saying that you guys wanted us to be more vocal about it, so I just wanted to reach out to you guys and say, hey, it'd be cool if you guys did another collection. Tell me why after I emailed them that, being totally cordial and polite with them, that they blocked my email. You want to tell me why they blocked my email? I wasn't even harassing them. I wasn't even being rude. I literally just said, hey, it'd be cool if we got another Castlevania collection, and they fucking blocked me. It's just like Squaresoft, Square Enix. Oh my god. No way to get... Yeah, I'm still waiting for that new Final Fantasy collection with those new remasters. Where the hell are they? They're on Steam. Like, dude, if they're on Steam, how come they're not on consoles yet? Why? It don't make any sense, dude. It don't make a lick of sense. It don't make a lick of sense. Bloodstone. What does that do? Actually, do I have anything different? Okay. Wait, Topaz Circlet. Oh, that takes me out of my defense. Alright. You didn't buy them enough on Steam? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. Square Enix said that if you wanted them to come on consoles, you had to buy them on Steam and leave a Steam review to encourage them to do it. So I guess people just aren't buying them on Steam enough. Damn. Sucks. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys could see that. Hold on, where am I at right now? Okay, we're going the right way, I think. Okay, so this hallway is full of red skeletons. Or blood skeletons, rather. Yes! I love when I can do that. Land on both of them at once. That was nice. Oh my god. It's this unicorn dude. Hellfire beast. Oh my gosh, the disc armor. Someone mentioned, and they're right about this, I totally didn't think about this until now. They mentioned how the inverted castle kind of sucks, because... So, okay, when you... Because we're not at the inverted castle yet, but it's just something that I thought about. When you get to the inverted castle, it seems like a lot of the enemy placement that they use... They really seem to love just reusing the, what are they? They're the bone throwers? I forgot their names. They're the ones that throw bones at you. The ones that throw, like, the boomerang ricochet bones and shit. They seem to love reusing those enemies and the stone skulls over and over again, instead of, like, reusing the, yeah, the jack-o'-bones. They keep reusing those... and the stone skulls. But you don't see enough of the big, stronger enemies like we just fought. Like, how often do you see the disc armor? How often do you see the Hellfire Beast? You don't. And I think it would have been dope if they kept putting those enemies in the inverted castle, but they don't. They just keep throwing the jack-o'-bones everywhere. They're everywhere. Oh, here we go. We ready? It's Legion, oh my god. How easy is this gonna be? Every other boss fight we've done so far has been incredible. Alright, yep, he's just falling apart. As soon as we get in here, he's falling apart. Okay, stop molesting me. Get away from me. Okay, get out of here. Nope, I just killed all of you. Legion looks cool. Shame he's always easy. I mentioned this before, but I think he looks, I prefer his, Cursed Darkness incarnation. I think that's where he's at the best. Cursed Darkness has the best Legion, in my opinion. Oh my god. Just die already. Stop throwing your corpses at me. Oh, see? Easy. Yet again. I think I leveled up too much. You think I leveled up too much? I think I did. I think we grinded at that spike ball for too long. I think we grinded at this spike ball for too long. Legion isn't always easy. I hear it's insane. No, okay. Alright, so here's the thing about Grimoire of Souls, right? Grimoire of Souls' difficulty is dependent on you. It is very much an RPG at its core. Meaning that you do have to level up your gear, you have to level up your characters, and if you don't level up your gear and your characters properly, then it will be hard. But if you do it accordingly, if you play at the pace the game wants you to, and you like level up your gear and your character, then they'll be easy as they're supposed to be. Now, the game allows you to make the game harder because there's a difficulty option that lets you tweak the game. You can make it to where enemies can die in they make it to where enemies take less damage. They make it to where you can die in one hit. They make it to where you can't recover HP. They make it to where you can't recover MP. They make it to where MP usage is like doubled. So there's options to make the game harder on yourself. To earn more rewards, by the way. That's what it's for. So if you turn on those options, you get better rewards. You can make the game harder. So if you find out that it's too easy for you, then the game lets you make it harder on yourself. I think that because they use a jackpot because of the first Metroidvania style, but they still have the mentality of classic Castlevania. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Alright, so we beat Legion. What did we get out of that? What did we get out of that? I was not paying attention. What the hell did we get out of that? Oh, we got the walk armor, and that gives us better... It lowers our intelligence by 5, but we get stat boost by 3. Do I want it? Again, I don't even know what the hell intelligence does in this game. I don't know what intelligence is for. I assume that's for magic, because in most games, intelligence is used for magic, but I don't know. I'll leave that alone. Just hit it. Alright. Apple, quit fighting with Elon Musk and make your productions cheaper. Your products cheaper. Is magic damage... okay. Gotcha. Makes sense. That makes sense. Got a heart max up. Got a breakable wall here. That leads us to a room with the... Ice Brand. Ice Brand is probably my favorite weapon in Castlevania. You know, besides the Vampire Killer. I think Ice Brand is my favorite sword. Because I'm a sucker for ice weapons. I'm a sucker for cryomancy. Everyone knows Symphony of the Night all wanting it to be remade. But what would be the best game to remake and represent Castlevania? Well, Castlevania 1... has already gotten like a dozen remakes at this point. It had Super Castlevania 4, it had Chronicles. I don't think we need another Castlevania remake of the first one, so that's out of the window. Castlevania 3 needs a remake. I think that one needs a remake above everything else. Adventure got a remake. Dracula X got like 2 remakes. It had Rondo of Blood and then Dracula X Chronicles, so we don't need that. Yeah, I think the one that needs it the most is Dracula's Curse. I think Dracula's Curse could use a remake. Especially given the success of the show that it's based off of. I think it's perfect. I think it's a perfect idea and perfect timing to give 3 a remake. I wouldn't mind them taking another shot at Simon's Quest. I was gonna say Simon's Quest also. That'd be cool to see get remade. I'd like that. But I do think if we're like trying to represent Castlevania as a whole and what it is, I think Dracula's Curse could use a remake. Because it hasn't had one. For me, it's Portrait of Ruin. I don't think any of the Metroidvania games deserve a remake, I'll be honest with you. I don't think any of them deserve a remake. Because the thing about Metroidvania is even Symphony of the Night, and frankly, I don't even think Symphony of the Night deserves a remake. Because these games are, like, timeless. They don't feel dated, necessarily. But the classic Vania games, I guess to a lot of people, do feel dated in some aspects. But these games are, like, notorious for being timeless. And they're kind of like a medium of their own. Hell, to the point where a lot of indie games that are trying to be Metroidvanias take inspiration from these. They make them pixelated, they give them the 2D art style. They're timeless. I personally do not think that there is a single Metroidvania that needs to get remade. I don't think so. I would be happy with just a port. Yeah, like I said, I'd be happy with just ports of the DS games. I'd be happy if they just got ported. They're fine as they are. I don't think they need to get remade. Where are we at right now? Okay, we're over here. Yeah, true. Play that fan game, Seal the Curse, if you want a cool remake of Simon's Quest. True, these IGA Vanias have aged wonderfully. They're not dated as sorts. They're just sort of ahead of their time. Yeah. How expensive are the DS games? You can find the cartridges. I'd say you can, for the cartridges, you could probably get them for like 20 bucks each. Now for the boxes, I was looking at eBay the other day. Order of Ecclesia in box is over $100. Yeah. I think Order of Ecclesia is like the most expensive out of the DS games for some strange reason. I don't know why. Yeah. It's bad. So you can find the cartridges for like 20 bucks, but if you want them in the box, you're looking at over 100. It's crazy. Oh, we got the Spike Breaker armor, so now we can go to the room up there toward the left, and we can get the silver ring. Haha. Order of Ecclesia was originally $30 to $40, but it got inflated, not organically, but rather artificially. I mean, a lot of that might be due to the success of the show, but I don't know. I can't tell. It sucks, too, because I used to own Order of Ecclesia with the box and everything, but, you know, I reluctantly sold it a long time ago when I was younger, because, you know, I didn't know anything about collecting, and I wasn't really... I don't know, I was just a dumb kid. It's one of those people who tried making a quick money at the expense of their other people. Those people. Yeah. It sucks, because I'd like to put Order of Ecclesia on my shelf. I have the cartridge, I got the game, but if I want the box, I gotta spend hella money for it. It's ridiculous. Like, you'd think getting the game would be the hard part, but no, it's the box. The box is the expensive part. For some strange reason. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to have to waste money on old hardware just to play a select few games that once I beat them, I'm not going to touch the console again. I'm just not. I did that with a GameCube a while back. I literally bought a GameCube a few years ago just so I could play like 3 games, and then once I beat them, I just didn't touch it again. The GameCube would just collect dust. So it's like, it's precisely because of that I want these games to get ported. Because I don't want to buy a PS2 just to play Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness. I don't want to buy a Wii just to play Adventure Rebirth and Judgment again. I don't want to waste money and space to get these consoles that are just going to take up dust again. Just so I could play older games. It's ridiculous. I don't think it's artificially inflated, James. The games haven't been remade or ported, so the demand is there. Yeah. From what I researched, it got inflated artificially recently, with most of the copies being previously before. Well, again, I don't know. I don't know. It also depends on where you're looking, because I'm specifically looking on eBay. And then some people might look on Amazon for theirs. I'm looking on eBay. And most of the listings that I see on eBay are going for like $100 for the box. There was a copy that cost over $1,000, and that's from there. Well, typically when games like that cost over $1,000, it's usually because they're graded. Like, they're mint in box, they're like sealed in everything. They've been graded. If they're over like $1,000, that's the case. But I'm just talking about like complete in box, right? If you're just looking for the box, that's like $100. That's ridiculous. I don't think you should have to spend $100 on anything like that. If they're graded, it's a scam. Yeah. I wouldn't bother with that. I will never buy a graded game. That is so dumb. You can never convince me to spend $1,000 on a decades-old game just because it's in good quality. That is asinine, dude. Alright. Wait, what? That, what the... Okay, what was that? Oh, I was the map. I was like, what the hell just happened here? Okay. Alright. I don't know why I just did that. I thought this was like a DS game or something where I was looking at the warp screen. Anyway. We gotta go back to the left side of the map. But I think $100 for a series like Castlevania is reasonable. Yeah, I mean... I spent damn near $200 on that special edition of Lament of Innocence, so I mean, I can't... Yeah, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite about it. Anyway, yeah, let's go down. We gotta get that silver ring, especially since DS games have become collectible. Yeah, true that. All right, let's go this way. We probably should just, yeah. All right. I just don't like the idea of having to buy expensive-ass old hardware just to play a few games that you know you're not going to touch again once you beat them. It's just so stupid. And these developers, these companies have the gall to get upset at you for emulating their games because they didn't make it readily available to the public by remastering them or putting them in collections. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not my fault that you didn't make the game easily accessible to everybody, and now I have to emulate it. Because they don't gain anything about you buying an old console. They don't gain anything about you buying old hardware. They don't. What do they gain from me going on eBay, finding a $300 PS2 to play Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness again? What do they gain from that? Nothing. So what do they care? Look up Double Jump Games. I still can't believe how much they wanted Dawn Star Kart only. It's a game series that deserves $50 considering it's consistently great quality and pretty alright story game. Oh boy. $100 for a game? That's not it for me. I mean, yeah, like, I'll pay whatever amount of money I need to play these games. Like, sure, but it's just the fact that I don't want to spend money on... It's a ludicrous amount of money just to get a console, the controllers, the game itself, just to play it again. And then put it down once I beat it. Yeah, see, you know what I'm talking about. And you're a game collector. It's just asinine, dude. Let's see if we can get this up here. Oh, there it is. No, get up there. Get up there. We got another fairy card, so we got 2 fairies. Oh, I get it. Fairy and fairy. We got the European spelling for it, and then we got the English spelling for it. We're gonna try this. Oh, it's green this time. It's Tinkerbell. It's Tinkerbell, guys. Alright, so now we might want to equip that Spike Breaker armor real quick. Oh, and it gives us better stats anyway, so whatever. I'm one of those guys that preserve old things or delete things in digital media form, so I don't know. Archivers? Oh my god. I hate these fucking crows, dude. I hate how they're programmed. I hate how these crows are programmed. There's never a good angle to get those guys. Anyway, we're here. Don't mind if I do. Sha. And here we are. Wait, how did you get in here? You don't have Spike Breaker armor. How did
Have you seen Richter?
There is a Belmont here. You were right about that.
I knew it. Where is he?
The one I saw was with the enemy. He called himself the Lord of this castle.
What? That's impossible. You're wrong. I have to go.
Yeah. I'll be taking that silver ring, though. Anyway, now that we got the silver ring, we're gonna walk back to the center of the castle and meet her there. Because she's got another gift for us. But as a collector, I wouldn't say the DS games are unreasonably priced. They're expensive, but until we get ports, they're gonna stay that way. They could be a lot worse, but I still don't feel good about spending $100 on a DS game. I just don't. Granted, I feel a lot worse if I had to spend $200 for a PS2 just to play Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness again. I feel a lot worse if I had to do that, but still. I just don't feel good about spending any significant amount of money for old-ass games. When you can... Like, I'll give you an example. You can play 8 classic Castlevania games right now on this collection, which frequently goes on sale for like $6. Yet, if you wanted those games physically, you're looking at over, like, what, $500 if you wanted all 8 of these? Physically? Yeah, no. No thank you. That's stupid. I'm glad I picked up the DS games when I did. I used to own all of them. I used to own all the DS games when I was younger, when I first got my DS, but I sold them at some point. I got them all back. I got most of the games in my collection right now. I got them all back. I'm just missing some of the boxes. Currently, I'm waiting to get my hands on the Order of Ecclesia box. Because I have the game, I'm just trying to find out a good listing and a good opportunity to get the box. I wish I wasn't a dumbass and sold it back then. I wish I wasn't stupid. During those games are over. Those games are over, older than both of us combined. I think they might be over $1K mark now, which, oh crap. Yeah, see, I'm just not even gonna bother. Because, like, right now, you can play the NES games for like $6 if you wanted to. They're right there. The only reason to get those games physically is if you're an avid collector and you want to put those on your shelf. But for that much, bro, for that much, dude, why? Why? Well, just why, dude? All right. Gotta go to the center of the castle. Here we go. You missed it earlier, but I said I got Order of Ecclesia on Amazon cheap, brand new and sealed. How much was that? Or no, when was that? Was that like in 2010, 2009 when it came out? Because that would have been retail. You would have got that for retail price. Or did you find like some obscure eBay listing that gave you dirt for dirt cheap? A few years ago? What? Man. That's so... What a fucking horse shit. You know what? Man, the fact that I have to deal with listings that are like over $100 and you get it for like $25, man, that's a bunch of bullshit. Bunch of bullshit. Oh my god, it's the fire boomerang on it. Stop it. Fun fact, Lament of Innocence sold over 1 million copies, yet nobody remembers Leon before Netflix made. Well, 1 million copies isn't that significant. It's not that significant because Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns only sold 1 million copies, and that flopped bad. That was terrible. Lightning Returns was the worst sold Final Fantasy mainline game in history, and that game only got 1 million copies. But then you also got to remember, people that played it back then when it came out probably didn't really care about Castlevania either because my dad was one of those people. My dad was one of those people that got one of those copies back in the day when it came out. And he doesn't really care about Castlevania like I do. Even though he was the one that got me into this franchise, he doesn't really care about it that much. For a PS2 game is a lot. Element of Innocence would have gotten the, because typically when a PS2 game sells really well, they get the greatest hits label. Castlevania didn't get that. They didn't get a greatest hits label. And neither did Curse of Dark. The greatest hits label on theirs. I think that would be enough to determine if the game is sold well. Significantly, at least. Because you don't have to get the greatest hits label to sell well. I'm just saying, like, for 1 million copies, you'd think that would be, like, the bar to reach for that. But I guess it wasn't. I think it's also because of the cost. I imagine Final Fantasy Lightning Returns cost more than Castlevania. Yeah, it's true. Usually sold, like, what, 400k, 500k, maybe even undersold, but 3D Vania's shit. Well, yeah, I mean, but that's also because the 3D Vania games are much, much different compared to the classic Vanias and even the Metroidvanias, because Lament of Innocence especially was just, what, Devil May Cry-esque? It was very approachable. It was very accessible. It's just a hack and slash game, so anybody can pick it up and play it. Same thing goes for Curse of Darkness. It was just another hack and slash. So it was something that a lot of people could pick up. Didn't do too bad. It was less than 1 million, but it was also a different time. Now see, Symphony of the Night got a greatest hits label, which is funny. Oh wait, we need to go use the silver ring. I'm an idiot. What am I doing right now? Sorry, Ring of Varda, I gotta take you off. Also, Igarashi said that they were given a 2D game budget. How was that a good idea ever? Konami should have known that was a bad idea. A 2D game budget? For what? For Lament? Because if they did that with a 2D game's budget, they did pretty good. I'd say they did phenomenal for that kind of budget, given what they had. Symphony of the Night keeps getting merch 25 years later. Yeah, and it's annoying. It's literally the only merch that comes out for this franchise. It's always just Symphony of the Night. Always. We got new plushes, but it's Alucard and Dracula from Symphony of the Night. We're getting new statues, but again, it's just Symphony of the Night. We're getting new posters and merchandise from the Konami shop. We're getting shirts, hats, posters, mugs, pillows, but it's all Symphony of the Night. You seeing a pattern here? It's pretty annoying. That explained why that game was so short. Yeah, I guess that would explain why the game is pretty short. Yeah, the game is pretty condensed. Curse of Darkness was a much longer game for sure. Both Lament of Innocence and Dark... Really, both of them? Really? Despite the team being primarily 2D artists, fucking pure determination, willpower. I want more Selma merch, but we've only got the advanced collection stuff from him. I mean, I'm actually, you know what? I'm glad that we actually did get advanced collection merch recently, because this is like the only time we've actually gotten Circle of the Moon merchandise. I didn't think we were ever gonna see that. When did you ever think we were gonna get merchandise like pillows and mugs of Circle of the Moon? Did you ever see that happening? Because I didn't. I never saw that coming. But here we are. We officially live in a timeline where we have mugs and pillows of Circle of the Moon.
That voice. Maria?
I'm sorry. You were right. He is with the enemy.
Richter Belmont, in league with Dracula.
How did she find this out, by the way? Where did she go? Did she go to the throne room and talk to him for a minute?
But he must be stopped.
Yes, but can
If so, why did he let her live?
For all our sakes, show me that you will.
Oh, right, I have to fight you. This is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you, maybe. If you don't have too many invincibility frames. Oh my god, Toho shit, get out of here. Nope. Corner rape. There we go. Says I'm waiting for Soma body pillow. Wait, Japan already did that? Never mind.
Will you? Please?
Soma body pillow.
Promise that.
Plush
But I will
statue.
stop.
Nah, you want that Soma body pillow. I know you
I
do.
found these. Take them.
You ever play the Saturn version? No, I have
These
not.
are-
I think I
If you
mentioned
wear
this
them, you
in
can
the
see
last
beyond
stream.
illusions.
I have not played the Saturn version,
I go
which
to
I would
find
like
Richter.
to. I'd like to see how that version plays, but
Pray for him.
nope, I've never played that version. Never got a chance to. And speaking of things that I never got to play when I didn't get the chance to, I never got the chance to play Castlevania Resurrection when that thing was popping off, because I know people were freaking out about that when the ROM got dumped online. But at the time, I didn't play it, and I didn't stream it or talk about it because I didn't have a means to. Well, I mean, I had a means to. I mean, I could have downloaded the ROM at any time and played it myself, but I just didn't really feel like it. Because my internet at the time was garbage. I didn't feel like trying to go through the effort of downloading it and trying to play it and stream it. So, and plus, everybody and their mother talked about it, so I felt like my input wasn't needed. So like, whatever. Everyone and their mother's talking about it. Even non-Castlevania fans were talking about it, surprisingly. Neither if I hear it's good. Yeah, surprisingly, yeah. I mean, so I'm not a pervert. Okay, whatever you say. Well, whatever you say then. Alright, well now that we got the holy glasses, we're gonna go talk to Richter now. We're gonna go say hi to good old Richter. See how he's doing up there. See if he's see if he's down in the dumps. Darren, you know I'm not a pervert as much as I love Soma. You could have fooled me. I mean, given how much you roleplay as him, you could have fooled me. Given how much you obsess over him, you could have fooled me. Is there some sort of message filter of sorts? What? Message filter? What are you talking about? Message filter? What? Are words getting censored? Are words getting censored or something on your end? I love Soma for who he is. Now I know that's a hunk of horseshit. Might as well be straight. The Saturn version is bad, really bad, with the extra content it has being essentially the only cut content. YouTube auto, yeah, I was gonna say, YouTube usually auto censors stuff, so that's probably what it is. Sometimes YouTube blocks messages. Oh, okay. Yeah. There was a point where YouTube even blocked my name. Like, my actual name, Darian, it would, like, censor my name. And I think I know why it did that. I think I know why it censors my name. Because my name, Darian, I think I know why it does that. Because, I think it has something to do with Nazis. Because, if you're familiar with the ideology of, like, Nazis and whatnot, they had these things called Aryans. Aryans are, like a race of people who are blonde-headed and have blue eyes. So, I think that's why they blocked my name, is because that's a Nazi term. Because I guess they favored Aryans blonde hair, blue-eyed individuals. Maybe. That's just me speculating because I don't know what other reason there would be to censor my name. Dorian when they see YouTube. You just call me Dorian? Well, that's a new one. I'm gonna have to put that one in the books. Dorian. That seems like a stretch. It probably is a stretch, but I don't know what other reason my name would get censored. Because my whole name didn't get censored. It was just those 5 letters. It was just the last 5 letters of my name. They kept the D there, but it was the Aryan that they left out. You gonna play Dawn of Sorrow event? Yeah, I'll play it when it gets ported. I'll play it when they eventually port it, maybe. I'd love to stream those games if they would just fucking port them. Like, if they port the DS games, I'll be playing them constantly. I might even do the extra modes. I'll be doing the extra modes, playthroughs. Dorian is a sweet fruit, which is pop. No, you're thinking of the durian. That's the durian with a U. I don't know what a Dorian is. You're thinking of a durian with a U. Oh, I'm in the wrong area. We gotta go up, not down. I have no problem with Dawn of Sorrows. I do. I think it's generic. I think it's really generic, and I think it's dumb. It's like the artists for Dawn of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin just went to the local library and picked up one of those how to draw anime books, and that's how they design their characters. Like, it's not the fact that they're anime, it's the fact that they're generic. That's the problem with it, to me at least. That's why they're bad. It's just because there's no style to them. They just look so generic. They're not memorable, you know? Some of the characters benefited from the anime style, such as Mina and Arikado. I mean, they looked fine in Ayami Kojima's style. I don't know what was so wrong with that. In fact, I would even say that Ayami Kojima's art style made them look better and edgier. If they were trying to appeal to a younger demographic, I think that art style works better, honestly. I don't know why. It's just, it's because anime was such a big fucking thing back then. And it still is. It's like they thought, oh, anime is a big thing with kids nowadays. Might as well make it anime oriented because they'll draw the younger kids to the games. Why not? No, I'm sure she was. They got her for literally every other game at the time. I'm sure she was available. They strictly said that the reason why they went in the anime direction was because they wanted to appeal to a younger audience. That's literally why they did that. It wasn't because she wasn't available. They could have got her at any time. Because she was doing Castlevania from Symphony of the Night all the way up to Curse of Darkness. She did, like, Lament of Innocence. She did Aria of Sorrow. She did Harmony of Dissonance. She did Curse of Darkness. It's like, she was busy. She was busy with Castlevania games constantly. She probably was, but I think Irashi decided that she needed to focus on the bigger project to give ample time for Lament of Innocence. I also like how feral Dark King Summer looked in that style. So well. I mean, again, I like, imagine how they would look in her art style, though. Imagine how feral that he would look if he was in her art style, though. I mean, now we have artwork of what that looks like, but still. Like, imagine how cool Cornell would look in Kojima's art style. I still want to do that. If I could commission her... dude, if I could commission Ayami Kojima, I would ask her to draw so many Castlevania characters that she didn't get to draw. I played all the DS games as a kid. I thought Ecclesia had the art. I thought Ecclesia's band had the best art even as a kid. Yeah, Order of Ecclesia's artwork, even though it's not Ayami Kojima, still had really good art. It was like semi-realistic, kind of, but still stylized. Sorry, I had a stroke. Well, I was able to piece together what you were trying to say. We did see how feral he looks, and boy, he looks like he's one step away from slitting someone's throat. Oh my god, don't go down. Don't fall all the way down, buddy. We gotta go say hi to Richter. We gotta get away from me. Get away from me. Alright, now we're gonna go up here yet again, just like in the beginning of the game. Gonna go up here. Now notice, I would like to point something out. I hate that we only got 3 new pieces of art for so many. Well, every character got like 3 pieces of new art. Trevor only got 3 pieces of new art. You gotta stop doing that. I know you really, really like Soma, but you gotta stop trying to, like... You gotta stop playing favorites with him when it happens to everybody. You gotta stop doing that.
I've been waiting for you.
I've been waiting for you, Patrick.
Why is Belmont planning to resurrect Count Dracula?
Dracula rises once a century. One chance for each Belmont to shine. And then we're finished. Forgotten. If I bring him back now, the battle can last for eternity.
You have lost your way. So be it, Vampire Hunter. Let your battle begin with me.
Indeed. Oh, so he's gonna use Grand Cross right off the bat. Cool. But notice, now that we got the glasses on, there's an orb flying above him. We gotta destroy that. Because he's being controlled by it. And it's Shaft.
How inconvenient. But we've only just begun. The Master's ascension is at hand.
What do you mean that's the bad ending? That's what you're supposed to do. The bad ending is when you kill Richter. See, now we get the castle, we're getting the cutscene where they show the inverted castle, see? The bad ending is when you kill Richter. That's when you get the bad ending. The one where Richter got busy and is like an entire village full of people hero? What? Just fucking around. Oh. Now, see, you're lucky that I'm not playing this blind, because if you're trying to fuck with a blind player, like, wait a minute, that's the bad ending? Oh, I guess I'll kill Richter then. But no, going back to your other comment.
No! What have I done?
You saved him, Alucard. Thank you so much.
Alucard? The Alucard?
The Alucard?
Can't be. That was over 300 years ago.
Never mind that. Is the man who controlled you in that castle?
Yes, I think so.
Maria, take Richter and leave here. I'll finish this.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah, I do think the inverted castle is lazy, and I think it's dumb. It's also something that's never been done before or since then. Like, why does he just get the power to summon another identical castle on top of it? Where does that come from? How and why? It's just padding. It's really just padding so you can just play the game again and just extend the game's runtime. Can't die from old age, Richter, you dumbass. You know what happens next? There's a theory that in order to be clear, the leader of the village is Richter, and since all the villages are Belmonts. All the villages are Belmonts? I doubt that. I heavily doubt that. That might be a... that is a huge reach. The theory is it's Juice, not Richter. Well, no, that really wouldn't make any sense, because Juice shouldn't even be alive. Juice shouldn't even be alive by the time Order of Ecclesia happens, let alone Richter. Richter definitely shouldn't be alive by that point. I don't think Weigal Village is associated with the Belmonts. I don't think they are. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think the Belmonts went into hiding after Richter put the whip down. Richter would be in his 70s or 80s. Would be like 150 years at that point, yeah. Well, yeah, but even though he's a magician, he's not immortal, though. He's not a vampire. Having access to magic does not make you somehow, like, immortal, or make you last longer in age. But, I mean, it's fiction, it's whatever. I mean, yeah. I love my theory about Grimoire being set far in the future after so much time. I'm curious if they're ever going to reveal when exactly the game takes place. Because if they wanted to get Soma, they could have just went and found him and said, hey, could you come help us? But no, they had to summon him from the Grimoire. They couldn't just go grab him and be like, hey, come here, can you help us? The fact that they summoned him from the book tells me that he's either not alive anymore, or he's like too far away or something. Like he's like in some distant country or something. I don't know. That isn't a theory. I mean, we don't know. We don't know if that's true or not. It might be, though, because like I said, the fact that they had to summon him from the book might imply that he's not alive anymore. But anyway, you only get Grimoire Soma, so the real one has to be dead. Yeah, that might be what's going on. Plus, Alucard is all alone. Yeah, so I'm curious about where... well, I mean... well, Alucard would still be alone anyway. Alucard would still be alone anyway. He doesn't really like to associate with anybody. Like, he's friends with Yoko and Julius, sure, but I'm sure he would just stay by himself most of the time anyway. He'd probably start his own organization. He'd probably just do business by himself. He'd probably just live by himself, too. I don't think he would, you know, hang around them all the time. And plus, yeah, there's no sign of Yoko or Julius anywhere either, so it's safe to assume that they're dead, too. Since the way Alucard talks about the Belnates or the Belmont, seems like they pass when somehow Soma is summoned. And the Grimoire being the soul, the archive, and memory, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's safe to assume that the Dawn of Sorrow cast is probably dead. So maybe the game takes place, like, 100 years in the future, maybe. 50, 100 years, maybe, I don't know. I have no clue. We'll have to wait to, like, give us a definitive answer. If the real Soma were alive in Grimoire, he would have shown up since the monsters were escaping into the real world. Yeah, I mean, I guess so, yeah. I guess he would have. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Let's see, we're at right here, man. I picked the worst time to start streaming. Well, I mean, we're already at like an hour 23, so I think we'll go ahead and stop here. Yeah, I think I should have picked an earlier time to stream. It's just kind of a late night. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow, we'll try to beat it. I think we might be able to get it done in one stream tomorrow. Maybe. I think we will. I think we can do it in one stream tomorrow. Because all we have to do from here is just find and beat 5 bosses that give us 5 pieces of Dracula's body, and then we can fight Dracula and be done with it. He would have, but then what about Reminiscence of the Divine Abyss? He never realized the castle was getting brought back. Well, that book... well, now, as far as we're concerned, that book is non-canon. That book is not canon at this point, thanks to Grimoire of Souls being a thing. But even in that book, I guess, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever. I actually did a concept art for Curtis Lang. and what he would look like. I think it's pretty dope. Did some artwork for that. I kind of want to do a video, like a little history video about my artwork, my Castlevania artwork. I might do like a showcase slideshow video about my artwork. So good night, Darian. I wonder what Michelle Dynasty would look. I want to draw her too, but I need more of a description, because the problem with drawing those characters is that I don't really have a good description to work off of. And I don't even really think they give you a good description of what they look like either. So that's what makes it difficult. We don't have official artwork of the characters. We don't have a description of what they look like, except like very vague descriptions. So like even my concept art of Curtis Lang is like 80% my own interpretation. You still owe me that Nightmare Fuel Dark King Soma. I don't owe you shit. No, I'm busy with like a whole bunch of commissions as of late. I do not have time to. I don't even have time to draw the things that I want to draw, because I've been swamped with so many commissions as of late, because it's the holidays. People have been asking me for stuff. So I don't know. I haven't found time to draw things that, you know, I would want to draw. So it's been kind of busy. It's been busy. But yeah, not gonna talk your guys' ear off. Gonna go ahead and make that the end of the stream, and tomorrow we're gonna attempt to beat it. You have a lot of commissions now. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, this last year has been really kicking up with commissions. I've been getting a lot of them. I've had game developers contact me. I've had writers contact me. I've had I've had a lot of people contact me about this stuff, and it's flattering. It's cool. It's dope that I can finally expand my business. You looking to expand your business? A fucking Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference. You looking to expand your business? But yeah, it's dope. Making money, making bank, making that bag, making that bread, you know. Because I'm not used to getting paid, believe it or not. My upbringing is, you know, I'm autistic, and since for most of my life I've had to have Social Security benefits and whatnot, I've never really had to. I've never really gotten paid that much for anything, so I'm not used to getting money for stuff. So to have this much money coming in from commissions and doing artwork, so it's like it's my job. So like this is like a job for me now. So it feels good. It feels good. I feel like I'm actually doing something. I actually feel like I'm accomplishing something. I actually feel like I'm, you know, doing something with my life now. I'm actually, you know, making a business out of this. And it feels cathartic, because for years, friends and family would look at my art and they'd be like, you should sell those. You should make a business out of that. You need to sell your artwork. You know, you could make money doing that. I'm like, yeah, I bet I could. And I just never would. You know, and that was just because I never knew how to reach out. I never knew how to really expose my artwork to anybody. I didn't go on Twitter. I didn't go on Instagram. I just posted it to Facebook a lot of the time, and that's not how you grow as an artist. That's not a good way to do it. You got to really expand. So I was posting stuff to Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, DeviantArt, and it worked. Eventually, it worked. You build a community. Consistency matters. For me, what worked is building consistency. Because I've been drawing Castlevania stuff for like 3 years. 3 or 4 years, actually. 4 years. And when you keep doing it for so long, you build a community of followers and friends who are also Castlevania fans, and they want to see more from you. So if you keep drawing the same consistent things over and over again, you eventually build a community. And then you're more likely to get people that want those things from you, because that's your specialty. So consistency matters. You've been drawing Castlevania stuff for like 5 years? Yeah, pretty much 5 years. Being consistent is true. Dare I never design my OC. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. Like, when I drew your OC, that was when I was, like, just starting to get into my art groove with this Castlevania stuff, and I'm not proud of that design, I'm gonna be honest with you. Because I didn't quite have a grasp on Ayami Kojima's art style either. So I was just kind of winging it. I feel like now if I designed him, I'd do it justice, but again, I don't really have time or the means to do that right now. But yeah, so yeah, that it's nice. It's nice being able to finally make a business out of this, getting consistent commissions and such. You know, like one of the things that I want to do more is I want to draw real life people in the style of Kojima. I feel like that's where I really shine. That's where I feel like I can really like flex my skill in terms of that style, is because if I can just draw real people in that style and make it look good and convincing, that's how I know I've made it. That's how I know that I can do it competently. Well, no, anybody, like you. I could draw you, I could draw James, I could draw Nick, Andy, I could draw anybody in that style and make them look like a Castlevania character. In fact, I just did that one today. Someone asked me to draw a present for their wife today. They want me to draw like a gift for the holidays. They want me to draw their wife in the style of Ayami Kojima, and I did, and it looks good. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I rarely show my face to anyone. Yeah, I mean, I know what you look like, though. I know what you look like. Because you've shown your face a couple occasions, but yeah. Oh no, Darian64 is going to turn us into Santa Sangrio art workbook. Or something. Nah. I used to take heavy inspiration from that book. And some people know that. If you stuck around with me long enough, you'd know that a lot of my earlier works were heavily inspired from that book, to where you could look at it and be like, oh, I recognize where that face is from. I know where that pose is from. It's from this Ayami Kojima work in the book. You'd be like, I know where that's from. You based it off of that. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And I had to do that for a while. That's what contributed to me getting good at the style. You kind of have to reference it for a while to get good at it. I had to look at it. I had to study it. It was more so a means of studying it. That's what it was. It was me trying to study the book and really get a feel of her art style for a long time. It took a long time before I finally got the grasp of it. I would say within the last year is when I finally stopped having to use her work as a reference. I don't have to look at Ayami Kojima's work anymore to understand how her art style works anymore. Which is awesome, because I used to do that all the time. I'm like, man, how does she do her eyelashes again? How does she draw lips again? Man, how does she draw ears? How does she angle her faces again? How does she draw noses? How does she shade it again? I forgot. I don't have to do that anymore. I used to, but nope, not anymore. It's just when you keep doing it, you keep grinding for it, and you keep studying it, you don't have to do it anymore. So nowadays, I don't even have to look at Ayami Kojima's work to get an idea of how to draw her stuff. So, yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. I've shown you my face because I trust you, Darian. Yeah, I know. That's cool as hell. Oh, yeah. That's why I said I like to flex my skill by drawing real-life people now, because it feels good. It's like, man, I can make people look like a Castlevania character now. I can just be like, hey, do you want to look like a Castlevania character? I can do it for you right now. That's awesome. And that's primarily what I try to drive my my commissions off of. Like, hey, I specifically want commissions for people that want me to draw them as Castlevania characters, because I feel like I do a really good job at that. I feel like there's a market for that. There's a demand for that. You know, you want to look like Ayami Kojima's art, do you? You want to look like a Castlevania character, don't you? You want to look elegant. You want those sexy eyelashes. You want those eyebrows. Right? But yeah, anyway. That's enough stalling for time. I've already been here long enough. We've been talking for like 10 minutes straight. That'll do it. That'll do it. Been nice talking with y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you guys tomorrow when we attempt to beat the rest of this. We should be able to do it in one stream. Hopefully we won't have to split it up any more than that. I mean, I knew this is going to be a long game, but still. I mean, we're already here. We're already halfway there, so. Have a good night, everyone. Take care, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Catch you guys later.